many members globally is one of the fastest way to revamp your career.
It's the hardest one. I was under a lot of pressure. Library is my second home.
To do with your professional relationship management.
Probably one of the biggest benefits. Hello everyone, welcome back to Amy and Jody's channel. This is Jody.
And this is Amy.
Hello, welcome back. So today we are in a very lovely venue. This is the David Jones in the CBD of Sydney.
So David Jones is one of the most historical and pristine shopping malls in Australia.
Yes, this is also one of our favorite venue, right?
Yes.
We come here hanging out, dining out, shopping as well. So yeah, if you come to visit Sydney, please make sure you come here. It's really nice.
Yep.
Today we would like to talk about how to become a CPA in Australia.
While working full time.
Wow, that's gonna be a tough task.
Yes, that's indeed a lot of commitment. So, as a accounting professional, getting a CPA certificate under a belt is one of the fastest way to revamp your career. So, Jody, a fun quiz. So, do you know how many members globally that CPA Australia has?
I know there's a lot. If you're saying around the world, I would say around 100,000.
Much more than that. So,
Wow,
in total,
okay.
170,000 plus members globally, over 100 countries.
It is a big group.
Yeah, indeed.
We have a lot of associates.
And also, 25,000 of them are working in the senior position.
Oh, that's great.
That's great. So, we would like to talk about how to become a CPA.
Yeah.
So, initially, we will put the link down below. In order to become a CPA, you need to first become a member.
So basically, you need to get a bachelor or postgraduate degree in a university which is recognized by Australia, CPA.
Yep. And secondly, the most important thing, you need to pass 6 exams. So 4 of them are compulsory and 2 of them are elective subjects.
That's
And then
right. Finally, you need to achieve 3 years experiences in finance area, which is recognized by CPA Australia.
Exactly. 6 subjects includes 4 compulsory ones, which are ethics and governance, strategic management accounting.
Yeah, and financial reporting, and the last one is the global strategy and the leadership.
And you need to actually choose 2 selectives from the following subjects, which include audit, taxation,
Financial risk management
contemporary business issue.
and digital finance, which is newly added into the list in recent years.
Yep. And depending on what region that you're located, you can also select from the Fiji designated, selective, New Zealand, Hong Kong, and Malaysia. So that's up to your choices depending on your region specification. Ready? Okay, Joe. So what do you think is the hardest one among the subjects?
Well, it's probably different person to person. So for myself, I feel the global strategy and leadership is the hardest one for me. Just to let you guys know, the global strategy and leadership, it has to be the last subject you do in your whole program. So normally when people get into that subject, they already have a couple of years experiences. And like basically for myself, my role is getting busier and I feel like I just don't have enough time for study. So for that subject, I did all the study within the 3 weeks just before the exam. I don't suggest it at all. I was under a lot of pressure because of the time management. So basically, you need to dedicate around like 15 hours per week, maybe, for one subject. So that's around 2 hours per day.
Yep.
If you want to do a solid preparing, that's gonna be the hours you need to dedicate to. Because we're probably busy with the work, in the weekend have to dedicate the whole day probably for studying.
So yeah, we all come to that situation where we plan for exam for the last 2 weeks. So from our experiences, we strongly recommend you to progressively plan your calendar to study your CPA, actually to alleviate your burden right at the end of it.
Yes, that's why like we squeezed all the time at the end. I feel like library is my second home.
Same, been there. And in terms of my time management, I actually encourage everyone to leverage on the commuting time because at that time I was working in the city. My company is in Macquarie Park, so I had to actually carry my textbook with me and study on the train. So each way, so the half an hour on the train to this office and half an hour back to home. So you get an hour each day. So from Monday to Friday, cumulatively you got 5 hours of studying just by commuting. So that you actually save you probably an afternoon over the weekend to not study. So that's my tips of leveraging on.
That's very smart. How about you, Amy?
I think my feeling was towards financial reporting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's the hardest part for me to deal
Yeah.
with. Because
I understand.
yeah, because I started my career as assistant accountant. So my working experiences is towards management accounting area, so it's more flexible. But when it comes to financial reporting, there's a lot of like AASB, there's a lot of compliance behind it, a lot of rules behind the subjects.
Yeah.
And also, I still remember there's a big question about the financial report consolidation. So a lot of equity methods, and then there's the goodwill calculation.
That's
So
right.
that is, I think when it comes to that, that was my biggest challenge when completing this subject.
I still remember there was a lot of like huge calculation
Exactly.
essay questions. So you kind of like have to analyze a lot for the whole P&L or for the whole balance sheet. Like yeah, I heard about a lot of people thinking that's the difficult one.
Yeah, and then also for the global strategy, because that one has,
changing.
yeah, because that one has a big essay to write. I think at that particular moment when I was younger, as an international background student, I think that one takes a lot of the English
Efforts.
writing, and then at that time I think I was not as competent as of now with the English comprehension. So for me, yeah, the financial reporting segments and then the second language of English speaking are the obstacles when I was doing my CPA like back in years ago.
Right, okay. Now I remember why I don't feel financial accounting is the hardest one. Because I was enrolled in another like SAT course, which is running by CPA. So it kind of like you go to the tutorial, you have a tutor, you can go there every week. The tutor analyzes the questions, also go through the textbook and do the practice for you. We also have a study group over there. Like you can study together with other candidates. Like during the discussion and during the tutorial, I feel like I get better understanding about subjects. I don't feel that's too difficult because I actually got extra support, which is good. Yeah.
So the tips is the good time management and then good support.
Yeah. Okay. If you need support, there's a lot of different support from different organizations. For example, CPA itself, it has a lot of different courses you can choose, either online or face-to-face. And also there is a lot of like study groups you can join, so which is gonna be really helpful for you. If you get used to working together with other candidates, or you don't like to study just by your own, I highly recommend it to all of these supports.
Sure. And then lastly, the most important thing is completing 3 years of relevant financial experiences and also get your experiences signed off by a recognized member.
Yeah.
So as a mentor. So I think that is to do with your professional relationship management, right? Like for me, my designated paper is signed by direct manager. So I've been working for him, I think, at that particular moment for 2 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, because of the interaction at work, because of that, and then he was very glad to actually sign off on my paper. So what about you, Jody? Is your direct manager signing off on your recognized paper?
Actually, my situation is a little bit different because at that time, my direct manager, she was not a CPA member. So I have to look for other sources in the company. So I was lucky. When I was just joining the company, I was like having chit chatting in the kitchen. So one of the senior accountants like asking me if I started my CPA program. I was like, yeah, I just started. And she was asking about like which subject are you doing in this term, and we're actually having like this continuous conversation. I regularly updating my study progress with her, so let her know what's my difficulties, what I enjoyed with the subject, and what kind of like suggestion or advices she can give me. So we actually have this continuous relationship. Eventually, like in the last year, I already passed all my exams, and she was like come to me and saying congratulations. And then she proposed to me saying, oh, do you need a mentor to sign that document, that lodge book for you to achieve the full membership? My suggestion is please build up a relationship with your mentor, because I think it's a favor to us. It's not their responsibility to sign your paper, right? So you'd better to keep the good relationship in advance of the signature.
So it's better to invest and work on your professional relationship first, give your contribution, proactively talk about your CPA progressions with your direct manager or with your CPA mentors in order to, eventually get them to sign on your paper. So it's not a last minute thing to actually ask someone to sign on your paper if they don't really know you, and if they don't know if you have the competence to practice CPAs in the real situation.
Yes, exactly. If you already have a good relationship with them, it's gonna be a very natural thing, easy thing to ask for. But if you don't have the relationship in the front, that's gonna be an awkward situation. Like you just randomly come to one of the members saying, "Can you sign that for me?" They don't know you. Like it's not very polite as well.
Exactly. Finally, we're talking about the benefit of become a CPA. So like we said in the beginning, it's one of the fast way to revamp your career. In terms of your salary, once you get your CPA fully qualified, you can actually apply more senior role. So for having a senior role, your salary will be much more than when you're a junior assistant accountant or junior financial analyst.
Yes, I feel probably one of the biggest benefits. Your salary is very important. You need money to pay your bills. Make sure you get certification to help you to climb up to the corporation ladder.
Yep. And also for the professional network, because like we said, 170,000 members globally, and you will have a like-minded group of people that you can exchange ideas and asking for recommendations from. And also sometimes if you move from company to company, from country to country, this is your resort to get resources and friends.
Yes. So it's opened the door for the professional community for you. You also get really good connections. These people can help you in your career, also in your daily life. If you need any suggestions, advices, you can always go to them. And I feel like people within the community, they're super nice. They already been in your situation before. They got more experience than you, and they're happy to share their experiences as well.
Okay, that's the information that we'd like to talk about today. And if you think the information is useful for you, don't forget to hit the thumbs up and then subscribe to our channel. And also feel free to leave a comment to us, any questions, suggestions. If you would like to hear more about this topic, please let us know. We will actually make more videos about this topic for your benefit. And thanks for watching. And this is Amy and Jody, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.